Another 4-star difficulty board? Oh no! Oh wait, excuse me. It's not difficulty, it's difficult E. Also, forgive my needless nitpickiness, but you really should have capitalized the D and I in Dangerous Island. Alright, where was I? Well, if I go up, I guess this is basically a pick your poison scenario, because it looks like either way we're going to empty out to this side. But it's essentially deciding whether or not you want to traverse some Bowser spaces and also a bank space and lose 5 coins, or traverse some Game Guy spaces. But the Game Guy, space line is shorter, and also I would much rather go to Game Guy than Bowser. I mean, personally, I gotta say that Game Guy gives you way better odds than any, traditional casino. Because, I mean, you get the Chain Chomp Cake Eating Contest, your odds of winning that, as long as you pick the big Chain Chomp, are pretty darn high. And, the Lucky Sevens one is really in your favor, in my opinion. The Spinner one is not. That's probably the hardest one to win. And then the Treasure Box one is just a straight-up 50-50. I don't even think any casino in the world gives you a straight-up 50-50. Blackjack is close. I think it's like 60-40 in the casino's favor. Or at least that's what I have heard. I've been to casinos multiple times for concerts and stuff, but I've never been to a casino that actually gambled, except for one time when I was with friends, and I was not there to gamble. I was there to laugh at my friends losing money while they gambled, until they realized I was the only person that hadn't gambled yet, and they peer pressured me into feeding a $20 bill to a one-armed bandit. That's gambler speak for slot machine. That $20 bought me about 2 minutes of entertainment and a back rub from one of my friends, so maybe it was worth... Wait, no, it wasn't worth it for that. But yeah, if you're watching this, don't gamble. I wouldn't recommend it. Or at least if you do, find something more entertaining than a slot machine. Even a pachinko machine in Japan is way better than that. At least then you get to watch, physical objects bounce around, and it's Plinko. Which, speaking of Plinko, that leads me to another rant I'm gonna go on for a couple minutes now. Apparently there's a whole game show out there in the US now that's just about Plinko, but also trivia questions. I don't know. It was just on in the background on some TV in a cafe while I was grocery shopping, and I was just thinking, what the heck is that? Okay, I guess that rant wasn't that long, but man, this little thing, I want to say it's in the center, but I know it's off to the left of center, but what the heck is that? How many junctions are in there? Is it all just a spiral and you go outward? And why are 2 stars appearing right next to each other? Are all 3 of those Game Guy spaces star spaces? I am so confused. Oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have turned off computer minigames, because I was just talking about Game Guy, and I could have done some goofy stuff. Ah, well, I suppose it doesn't matter. Welcome back to horrible graphics land. I will attempt to win this minigame quickly, and then I will also remember the fact that no matter how well you do at this minigame, the amount of time it takes is exactly the same. Also, I'm doing kind of awful because I have the bad job of being the first one to see the button. When you're the guy with an axe to grind, you get an advance warning of what button it is, whereas here you gotta have good reflexes, which, being a computer, I do not. So, looks like I just hit the dice block, I hit the dice block, I go around, then I go into the center, and then I get the option to go for the star, but, Saw about 50 coins. Well, I'm pretty good on coins. I really want just about 10 so I can steal a star, so I'll take about 10. All the items you can carry. Another skeleton key. This is bollocks. Just absolutely awful. I know I've spoken multiple times to the high quality of items that Toad provides, and yet I'm given chump change here. I answered honestly, too. Actually, no, I probably didn't answer honestly. I probably would have just taken the full 50. Oh no, another minigame involving pressing the button that appears above my head. This time it's slightly easier because the only thing I have to worry about is throwing up some Z's. Preferably when they appear above my head and not when they are not above my head. And I, pressed a button when it wasn't my turn once. Oh, never mind. The one player got hit by a snowball. So looks like we are cruising for a winning. Just barely. I mean, that minigame's not awful. At least it's usually highly competitive, but it's still boring. Alright, I like to have at least one item slot open, because apparently in this particular area, board features will just kind of appear out of nowhere. I mean, you can see them there, so I guess there's only one item shop. But yeah, that kind of appeared out of nowhere, and I want to make sure that I have an empty item slot so I can buy items. And how the heck do you get to the center? I'm so confused right now. Hey, at least all the computers are acting somewhat intelligently. Maybe the secret to that is just making the maps less labyrinthian-like and more circuit-like, just with a couple of different... Like, you're basically on a loop, and you have a couple of different junctions here and there that'll take you off into different spots, but it'll eventually lead you back onto the path, which, come to think of it, a lot of like actual official Mario Party boards kind of use the same principle. I mean, Neon Heights is from Mario Party 7 is a good example of that, as well as Mario's Rainbow Castle from the first game, and we are doing horrible, but there are 2 money bags, and I want them, and I got them. Threw it exactly where nobody on Earth was. But yeah, I can safely say that we are doing quite well here, and despite the fact that I cannot talk, I can assure you, if I... Aw, man! Never mind. I was gonna say if Yoshi could talk, you'd surely hear him say I'm the best, but having the minigame stop right as you're, like, within a pixel or two of a coin bag to get yourself an extra 5 coins. Not like I'm starved for cash, but 5 coins is 5 coins. Man, I gotta look at that later and just see how close it was. Also, that blue line through the center of the board is really unsightly. Okay, I'm getting really mixed messages here. You computers are, like, making intelligent decisions? Oh, I think the world might come to an end. The computers aren't acting like total morons. If we could stop with this constant restarting of the music, that'd be wonderful. Also, we've hit 4 hidden blocks. That's a lot for any game. But even more surprisingly is that 3 of them have all been the 20 coins, and 1 of them has been a skeleton key. None of them have been the typically game-altering free star. I don't know, just consider. Wow. Luigi's actually playing this quite well. He managed to position Donkey Kong and I in the exact area where we were unable to get coins and also unable to avoid a board. but then again, he also put me right in the path of a fiver, so I'm not going to give him that much credit. But yeah, I guess I got to say that. I mean, I'm not wiping the floor with these computers, but